Ah, hello, I'm TanTanVOTC channel. You're looking at a rock right now because I accidentally hit my keyboard and it moved the mouse all the way. So let me get back into the game. Right now I'm not in it. I'm looking at OBS, what I'm using to record. I'm restarting my character, and we're playing in the beginning area because the beginning area is able to be managed by both the recording as well as like just because there's nothing crazy. Because in Baldur's Gate and like the later game, there's a lot more like NPC. Excuse me. Sorry. Sorry. Excuse me. That's what we're starting off with, right? Where's my phone? I need my phone at least so I can. Whoops! Accidentally turn that on. That was me pressing on my air conditioner buttons. I had my frickin' phone on top of the air conditioner for whatever reason. The reason I need my phone is so I can keep an eye out on chat. Alright, so I restarted my character. I made a different interpretation of Temerian. This is Dark Temerian. I think he's Dark Urge. Oh, Games and Stuff's just popped on Guild Wars 2. You remember that YouTube channel, Games and Stuffs? You ever watch him? Oh god, there's a little bit of frame rate already. So we're in the beginning of the game. I got Shadowheart. Where's their frame rate? Usually this game runs pretty smoothly in the beginning part. I mean, I am streaming, but that's no excuse. It'll smooth out, I'm sure it'll smooth out, but I wanted to rank my favorite villains, so we got our first battle here. There we go. Launch that. Let them take their first turn. Yeah, okay. Anyways, I'm gonna rank villains, companions, and their romances because I've been playing a lot of this lately. I love this game. I'm also going to, the more part is I'm going to rearrange my top 10 games. I can't even really remember what games are on my top 10, so that's going to be a bit of a doozy. Over here, Shadowheart. Alright, oh, okay. Get a freebie, why don't you? Thank you. It's a little delayed, weirdly. But, I'm trying to experience every different, like, cutscene with the game right now and what it has to offer. Different directions with the story. I know I'm right up in his face. Alright. But, we're gonna talk about villains first. So I've been going through the game, going through every part that I can, seeing each of the villains. I think the ones I'm gonna rank are the ones that I remember the most. So it would be Nier, Minthara, General, frick. I frickin' forget his name. J.K. Simmons, we're just gonna call him J.K. Simmons. Alright, his name will come to me. I actually like his villain, I'll get to him in a sec. So him, I guess Sorrel, even though she's barely on screen. Same with Nier. Nier's barely on screen too. There's a couple of villains. There's like some side villains that don't really last that long. They're not really worth talking about. And then there's of course Gortash. There's Orin. General Thorm, that's his name. Oh my gosh, I go to take a drink and this thing's falling off my goddamn head. Frick you, headset. Seriously, what is wrong with me? Anyways, Let's see. Who should I start with? Is there any other villains? I'm trying to remember other villains. I guess there's a Marcus, that Marcus guy, but he's very short-lived as well. I don't really care about him. He's a dickhead, and he is part of a giant part that I hate. Fighting every time, which is where you have to protect Isabel. That part really sucks. Let's see. I think my least favorite. So Nier's probably the least favorite. He definitely leaves a presence as an asshole who kills these gnome slaves. Or like the dark gnomes. They are. Man, he's very brutal. He's very nasty. He's kind of a whiny bitch. Oh yeah, there's also frickin' Asterian's master. He hates Cazador. I'll put Cazador and Nier at the bottom because Cazador, most of it's like Asterian talking about how much Cazador is an asshole to him and how he's tortured him and all that crap, and he's doing like a like ritual thing. Speaking as historian, excuse me, jeez.
I've got one of those brain things called
cola here, by the way. That probably explains
in the grass. You can kill it, can't you? Like you killed the others?
I'm gonna try and do like a near perfect playthrough, by the way. Try and get everybody with me.
There. Can you see it?
So far I like Paladin. I really like Monk, by the way. Monk is really fun. I should talk about classes at some point. Monk, and there's one other. Barbarian's alright. Oh, I failed this. So now he's gonna put a goddamn neck up to my throat.
Not if you want to keep that darling neck of yours. And you, keep your distance. No need for this to get messy.
I need him alive. Stow that blade, or I'll show you just how messy things can get.
Promises, promises. But I have other business, I'm afraid. Now,
yeah,
I saw you on the ship.
I'm gonna put Nier
Didn't
and
I? Nod. Splendid. And now you're going to tell me exactly what you and those tentacled freaks
Lay's impression,
did to me.
and I at least remember him, but he's barely on screen, and doesn't he gets like killed in many different ways. He even gets killed not by us later, I believe.
Don't lie to me.
Your mind twists. You're looking out of unfamiliar eyes, prowling dark, busy streets. You try to hold the memory, but it fades to the worm. The light, the fear.
What was that? What's going on?
Very awkwardly get up.
You're not one of them. They took you. Just the same as me.
This game is
And to think,
has been taken over.
I was ready to decorate the ground with your innards.
And it's actually making me,
Apologies.
and that's why I'm getting a top 10 game rearrangement, because this game, I don't know. I got caught up. Wait a minute. Blame you, I was looking forward to seeing yours. Oh my gosh, I don't remember that. Even when I did Dark Urge, I don't remember some of the early ones, I guess. That's nice.
A kindred spirit.
So we're going to be a Dark Urge that's
My
trying
name's
to
Astarion.
resist our...
I was in Baldur's
I have a
Gate when those
character that's
beasts
already
snatched me.
trying not to resist it right now. So, yeah.
A pleasure. So, do you know anything about these worms? Turn us into...
Oh yeah, there's another villain I technically want to talk about, but that's spoiler.
Of course,
so
it'll turn me into a monster.
That later.
What else did I expect? Although,
so
it hasn't happened yet.
I forgot.
If we can find an expert, someone that can control these things,
kind of a bitch,
there might still be time.
but like she barely has screen time for me to leave much of an impression. Oh yeah, there's Balthazar, which I have a character named Balthazar, and I just thought it sounded like a cool name. And now there's a Balthazar villain in this.
You know, I was ready to go this alone, but maybe sticking with the herd isn't such a bad idea. And you seem like a useful person.
Balthazar's okay.
All right.
Balthazar's also one that doesn't stay on screen long. There's also,
as he joins your side, your mind dances with thoughts of a perfect, pretty corpse.
Got like the Silent Hill nurses working with him. He needs a level up, doesn't he? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Trust no one.
So, yeah. I mean, they leave the presents, but once again, they're all at the bottom. They're barely there. Who's next? I actually don't really like Gortash that much. Gortash, for some reason, is like a Final Fantasy villain in this game. He looks like one, at least. He's very emo. He's got a design like he looked like he came straight. He's like Noctis mixed with the main villain, whatever the frick that dude's name was in Final Fantasy 15.
Let's get
the main villain there. It's like him mixed with Noctis. That's what Gortash reminds me of. God, what is with the frame rate right now? Like, usually the earlier areas are pretty good with the frame rate, but for some reason today it's not. It's just deciding to be crap.
There.
Maybe when we get to the frickin' town.
It's hurt.
That thing's bound to be dangerous.
You approach the dying monster.
Oh God.
This is the thing that abducted you. You could end its life here and now, if only you didn't feel
Here, let's see if I can eliminate a little bit of that frame rate. I do have Discord up. Excuse me. Frickin', why is this making me so gassy? When it comes to burps, at least, not farting. Just saying that is awkward for me. All right, I'm gonna hang up on Discord here. Let's. Oh my gosh, this headset just does not want to stay in my head. I have a headset that's supposed to keep this headset close to my freaking face. So we're gonna close Discord. We are. Oh, Epic is as well as Xbox is on. Why is that on? I don't want the Xbox app on right now. What else is on? What is this? Okay. Why is that on? Okay. I think I am set. Hopefully that fixes some things. Don't mind that beeping in the background. Why is that still on screen? Hold on. Okay, now it's gone. Good. Fix that. Let's move these aside. Put this back on. I need to have like a cushioner on this thing so it won't be sliding off constantly. Won't give into the emotion.
You can't move, can't think. Thinking is mercifully done for you. It will be a joy to serve, to die for it an honor. It's possessing your mind, forcing you to love it. But then the feeling slips. The creature's mind seems to focus elsewhere. The monster lies exhausted, defeated. Its eyes, wet orange pearls, radiate malice.
That's such a good line. Its eyes, wet orange pearls, radiate malice. I love that line. Whoever the narrator is really good. Close those eyes forever. Curb stomping it. So,
Monster. Death is too good for it.
so here's what I'm gonna do. So there's a hobgoblin that takes this guy later. I'm stealing him. Just put him in my pocket. I don't know if this changes that though. So I'm gonna see if it does. I want to see if it does change that later.
Over there. Worth checking for supplies, maybe.
Thank you, Lisa. I haven't heard that like a million times already. Oh, he's Gale. I missed Gale my first time, by the way, instead of my friend AJ. It was in my Lethal Company video, live stream.
Approach the sigil on the stone. Magic glitters and swirls from it erratically, as if malfunctioning. It looks slightly dangerous.
Touch it. You know you want to.
A hand?
I need the frame rate.
Anyone?
I like closed Xbox and everything to get the frame rate to show. That's still. I've never slapped his hand before, but I fantasize stacking it off. I've asked, who are you? I've done this multiple times. I think I've done this once. We're going to pull him out, though. I've never failed it. Yeah, okay. Good. You're getting out of there, boy!
Go on! Keep pulling!
What the hell? Why is this mount flash like that? What the hell? That's a glitch.
Aha!
God, frame rate chill, please. It's usually good during cutscenes, but for some reason it just wants to be crap today.
Oh. Hello. I'm Gale of Waterdeep. Apologies.
Let's
Usually
talk about
better
more
at this.
villains. So, oh yeah, I was talking about freaking Gortash, wasn't I? Oh, and I'll talk about the Absolute as well.
A bit shocked, but friend,
The
it's
Absolute.
a relief and a
I'll talk
pleasure
about
to make
I'll
your
talk about the
acquaintance.
Absolute later. I think
Say,
that
I know you,
Gortash is
don't
kind of
I?
middle of the
In a manner
road
of
right gig
speaking.
for me. He's
You were on the
He's
North
not a
Road as
bad
well.
villain. You can see he's obviously just evil. He worships. He's like the chosen, or the god of Bade, who's the god of darkness or whatever. He's got a really cool look. I do like his look, but I just
I
found
can
him
only
boring
assume
and
you too
felt
were
more
on the
like a
receiving
Final
end of
Fantasy,
a rather
villain.
unwelcome insertion in the ocular region.
He looked like one at least. I don't know. I just found him boring of the three. Great voice actor though that voices him though. Most of the voice actors in this are fantastic. But yeah, I found him the weakest of the three main characters, which is weird because I think he can potentially have the most screen time alongside Orin.
The insertee we speak of, this parasite, are you aware that after a period of excruciating gestation, it will turn us into mind flayers? It's a process known as ceramorphosis, and let me assure you, it is to be avoided. You don't happen to be a cleric by any chance, do you? A doctor? Surgeon? Uncannily adroit with a knitting needle?
You seem to know enough about our condition to realize it's beyond most clerics' skills.
Most, no doubt, but I find myself hoping to be in the presence of the few. You don't happen to be one of them. As we've established, few enough can. It's not exactly a common affliction. We're most certainly going to need a healer, and soon too. How about we lend each other a helping hand once more and look for a healer together?
Oh, and I'll talk about the Dark Urge. That might have to be a spoiler thing as well.
Most excellent. A parasite shared is a parasite
Oh,
halved.
and there's
Or something to that
Blackus.
effect.
God, there's a bunch of villains.
But
I'm
before you
gonna
think
put
you're about to
Blackus
embark
in
on
the
a journey
middle
with
as
most
well,
ill-mannered a
because
man,
Blackus is just kind of a
thank you
annoying
for
bitch
pulling me out of that
won't
stone.
stop
It's
shouting
an act of
every line.
foresighted kindness, I assure
I don't know.
you.
She's definitely a
I have the
threat,
feeling ample
but, like, she's
opportunities
more
will
annoying
present
than she
themselves for
is,
me
like,
to
a
return
threat
the
that I
favor.
give a crap about. Oh yeah, I'm putting Cazador at the bottom too. He's barely on screen. Most of what you get is, and usually that works. Like Lord Voldemort, freaking Sauron. Like most people talk about those villains than you actually seeing them, making the threat of them so much bigger. That works for the Absolute. That's the same thing that works for the Absolute. Before you finally see their presence or whatever later. Sadly, I do not get that same effect with like Cazador and such. Cazador just feels too pathetic in comparison. Now, should we mess with these guys or not? Oh, I need to get a shovel. There's some like treasures around here. Hello? Oh, and you can
You're both twice as tall as me, but have half the bloody backbone.
But we don't know what that thing even is. And what about the crypt?
I'm telling you, it's a ship. And the crypt can wait. Mari and Barton have been trying to break in for days. Now we... Stop! Got ourselves competition already. That's our ship.
Me and I'll keep stabbing long after you're dead. Ooh, I've never seen that dialogue option. Am I missing stuff?
Well, in that case, come on you lot. No point in getting killed. Second worm gets the cheese and all.
Second mouse gets the cheese, no?
Nobody's getting any damn cheese! Now move it!
Yeah, get lost,
You're more
dumbasses.
cunning than you look. I thought we had a fight on our hands.
Thank you. Not falling down there. Look at that. Alright, I don't want to go in here. I don't really want to go in here yet. Mr. Withers is in there. Mr. Withers? We'll get him in a while, so... Alright, we gotta find Lae'zel. So... Let's talk about Loren. I would put the Absolute up high because the Absolute definitely is quite a threatening villain. Has the same effect as I was talking about with like Sauron and stuff, where you mostly hear about their presence. Or they talk. Matter of fact, it's very similar to Sauron. You know the part where if you get to a certain part, like the castle or the mountain pass, the castle with the goblins or whatever, or the mountain pass, and like the Absolute stops you, shows you their three chosen, though they're silhouetted. Kind of reminds me of when Frodo first runs into Sauron, and when he's wearing the ring for the first time, he tells him there's no life in the void, only death. Kind of reminds me of that segment.
Zoru was right. Yellow as a toad.
Come on, Frank.
Twice as ugly.
You can chill out here.
The thing's
I have to
dangerous.
delete some saves.
Leave it for the goblins to kill.
That's why.
And if it
I do have
escapes,
a lot of saves.
how will you... Oh, a guest.
Your skull pounds in response to the prisoner's white-hot stare. Her lips don't move, yet you hear her voice.
Get rid of them.
Yeah, I think that the Absolute is up there, and is quite the threat. I'm not going to spoil anything with the Absolute though, because there is more to what the Absolute is later.
He's right.
I think
no one's
Warden
safe if
and
that
the
thing
Dark
goes
Urge
loose.
I do have to spoil,
Not even
as
us.
well as
Damaze?
someone else.
Enough.
I'll talk about.
Lower the trap.
Spoilers.
Ready your blade.
So, just know when I say I'm about to talk about spoilers, then I'm about to talk about
You've but
spoilers.
one chance. Join me or die.
Oh, I don't want to attack the tieflings. Wait a minute. Oh man, I didn't make a. Oh, damn it. Well, I don't want to attack her either, though. Ah, Damn, why did I go for that option? I wasn't thinking. Alright, we have to attack the tieflings. It's one bad choice we're making.
You lying
There's gotta be one
rat.
bad choice in here. Sorry, Shadowheart. I forgot what choice I was choosing. So sorry. So we're making one bad choice. God damn it. Oh, I could have just walked up. Alright,
A beautiful
her.
death.
I love
One can't
wielding.
always be a gentleman.
Okay. Guess who's gonna attack you? Yep.
A spasm grips your chest. Your strength falters. An
what the
emptiness
hell?
grows within you, Paladin. Something has
Oh.
been lost.
Oh, I guess I broke my code.
Your oath,
Yeah, I broke my own.
Paladin. At the close
Interesting.
of day,
By the way, I finally
I will be
found that
waiting for
armor in
you.
the game.
we have much to
Or
discuss.
mostly the helmet. I've found the armor several times. I've never found the helmet before, but I finally found that. I can't quite remember where the helmet was, though. That guy's so cool looking, though. That armor is so cool. I should show you the guy. Why can't I talk to anybody? What's going on here? Game? Oh, this guy died ass up. You have an extra bow? What happened? My game, like, all the characters in my game, like, froze. This is weird. Well, Lazel? The frick? Can't main menu. This is weird. I've never had that happen before. I think I gotta delete some saves or something. Let's see. I'll talk about even Orin. I have to spoil a little bit about. God damn it! Oh, and there's Sovereign, something. Not Sovereign, the one of the mushroom people. What the frick is his name? He's the main villain of the very first Baldur's Gate. Frick. That guy's barely in it, and I actually don't like his characteristics because it feels like he goes back to his villain first Baldur's Gate, where I think there was an expansion that made his character more complex. I actually do own the first two Baldur's Gates. I sadly can't play them for you until I get an Elgato, which might take longer just because of my moving situation and everything that's been going on. So we'll have to see when that can happen. I'm just glad I got a PC and can stream PC games. So just be glad I can do that. Until I can't, unless I buy the first two Baldur's Gates, I might be able to just do that on PC. That might be a cheaper option. All right, what is going on here? Why is everybody still frozen? What if I fast travel? Okay, fine. You forced my hand. I'm fast traveling. I don't know why that has happened. Hello? Did my game seriously break on that? What the frick? What the frick? What? Why? Oh my gosh, frame rate, chill. Chill, 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 chill. I'm seriously getting pissed off about this frame rate. Why does it have to be like this? god, I freaking hate OBS. I think I have to change some of my settings or something. I wish Dave was here. I really do, because Dave knows the settings, how to set a game more properly than I do. I suck at it. I absolutely suck. So I'm so sorry. That's why I was having problems too when I was doing, he did help me with some of this stuff. Oh, buffering. Isn't there something here that would help out? Monitor refresh rate. Maybe this will help. Frame rate with monitor refresh rate to reduce screen tearing. Triple buffering is more stable but requires more dedicated memory. This frame rate. Enable to limit the maximum frames per second. Will this help? What if I do, like, what if I do that? Hold on. Do that. I'll keep it at double buffering. All right, let's see how it runs now. I'm sorry if I have to run it at like less frames. Oh, it's actually doing a little smoother. Oh, there's a little bit of weird. Yeah, on the screen. What is going on here? Do I have to seriously restart from where I was? But why? Why? Okay, yeah, oh, this is so dumb. What the frick, man? That save has been corrupted or something. I don't know what happened there. All because I broke my oath. The oath broke my game. So we have to restart. What the frick? That is so dumb. Ugh, that is awful. I have never frickin' seen that before. God damn. God frickin' damn. That was awful. So sorry for that. I don't know what happened there. Man, there's so many villains to talk about that, like, I would have to spoil. Oh, and it's me with my pike instead of my, okay. I don't want my pike. I want to be dual-wielding. Get rid of the shield. Dual-wielding. And now we can do that, I have a bow on me? Yes, I do. I have a crossbow. Okay, we're doing this fight again. Hello, brain. Intellectual power. Oh man, most of the villains now. I guess we talk about General Thorm now. So I actually think that General Thorm's really cool, and he's up there as one of my favorites. I love his design. He just looks so. Oh my goodness, his freaking headset. He just looks so cool. I love his design. He's an elf. I don't know, his design's so good. And him as a villain, he's the most complex villain of the three because he's dealt with loss. He's trying to get he wants his girl back, which is Isabel, his daughter. She's dating, what's her face? I forget. She's the night song or the night singer, whatever the frick. And like he's locked her up and she's using her as like a way for him to be invincible. And he worships the god of death, or is a chosen of the god of death. Could have just walked up to him. And he has actually 2 boss battles, where I think most of the other villains only have 1, or variants of 1. Here, here, I'll go take care of this guy since he has more health.
What should I do?
Here, just shoot him.
He fired well. Perhaps I'll survive. That helped.
Thank you. Alright. I'm probably gonna skip most of the historian's dialogue and such here, just because we already went through it. The game decided it didn't want to work properly for some stupid reason. Oh yeah, I didn't get the loot used. It actually has some good stuff that could be useful. Good thing I did come back, I guess.
Right tool will do the trick.
So, Storm, I love his backstory with the loss of his daughter. He's this mighty general. He has the invincibility, thinks he's God of death that he worships, and is basically given his soul and dedication to. And he's basically not even a fraction of the man he used to be. Like, there's so many things that show you how far he's gone from what he used to be. And he's not on screen as much, unless you make him on screen more, depending on, like, certain dialogue options and stuff that you choose.
Harry, there, in the grass. There. Can you...
Just a dumb bore.
Oh, we
You're
actually
relieved
succeeded the
until you
perception
see
this
the
time.
flash of a dagger.
Don't we? I saw you on the ship. Free, scuttling about. You're in league with them, aren't you? Those tentacle... Ah!
Your mind twists. You're looking out of unfamiliar eyes,
Yeah,
prowling
General Thorm
dark,
is my
busy
favorite of the three.
streets. You try to hold the
Barely on
memory,
screen.
but it
He has
fades
such a
to the
cool
worm.
first appearance.
The light,
Everybody's talked
the
about his...
fear.
Okay, you know what? That's it. Frick off.
What was that?
It keeps falling
What's
off my
going on?
goddamn head. I have a headset holding on the other headset. So I have a good headset, but sadly it's like broken at the I don't know what part. It's like just above the ears. And they just flop outwards, and for some reason it's been hard to hear me, or it would make the mic in a really weird place, so it's hard to hear me. So I would have to talk up, I would have to raise my voice, because I'm known in real life and such for talking at a really low volume, and I've breathed into the mic and stuff. I need to stop being a mouth breather. I just stuttered there, but. Yeah, I gotta. I used to not have that problem, and I have breathing problems in general. But yeah, so it sucks when I try doing my videos and I accidentally like I'm breathing into my mic and people can freaking hear it. I absolutely get annoyed with it, but there's not much I can do because I don't have the editing that I do with the Elgato, and also this is a live stream, so. Yeah, it frickin' sucks when that stuff happens. But yeah, let's just get back to the villains.
The worm. Of course.
But yeah, General Thorm's probably one of my favorites. I love his design. It's got some really badass armor. It doesn't give
I
you
was
the
ready to
gauntlets or
decorate the
leggings
ground
for
with
some
your
reason for a
innards.
lot of the armor sets from these.
Apologies.
Not that I know of. I think the one person that does give you it is Gortash, and Gortash has a great armor set, but I honestly like General Thorm's armor better.
A kindred spirit. My name's Astarion.
Yeah.
I was in Baldur's
up there
Gate
as
when
one of
those
my
beasts
favorites.
snatched me.
The rest of the villains I would have to do so I'll talk about
A pleasure. So,
Orin.
do you
Orin,
know
I
anything
feel
about
like
these
Orin
worms?
is try-harding it a little bit. She peers in your face so often, and she like kidnapped somebody. She is a big threat to you, of course, but she is kind of try-hard at being like crazy person a little bit. And she does get on my nerves a little bit too.
Turn us into...
But she's still
Of
really.
course, it'll turn
really
me
well
into a
developed
monster.
and one that poses a big
What else
threat.
did I
She's
expect?
definitely up there, but I prefer General
Although,
over her.
it hasn't
Just
happened
because
yet.
he's more interesting, he has better backstory.
If we can find an expert,
probably more
someone that can
relatable
control these
due to
things,
that backstory.
there might still be time.
Just dealing with grief.
You know, I was ready to go this alone,
Is something that's
but maybe
sadly
sticking with the
relatable to a
herd
lot of people.
isn't
We
such a
don't
bad
wanna deal
idea.
with grief, but we
And
deal with
you
it
seem like
time
a
to
useful
time, and,
person to know.
when we
All
lose somebody.
right.
Well, not
I
time to time,
accept.
what am I saying?
Lead on.
As he
Unless you have a
joins your
family of
side,
a
your
lot of
mind
members that
dances
sadly
with
pass away
thoughts of a
goddamn
perfect, pretty
new things.
corpse.
Especially if you're really attached to them. Yikes. Cannot imagine that. Like, I had one family member that was really close to, and that was freaking devastating. I was literally away from YouTube for like 2 years when that happened.
What now?
I can't imagine if you have multiple people. Jeez. But yeah, like, whenever there's a character that's like relatable in the sense of like, even if it's something dark like that, like dealing with grief and the loss of somebody, like, that makes them relatable. Sadly, just like superheroes who lose their parents or uncles or whatever, like Spider-Man or Batman. Maybe not relatable exactly. Like, I don't think my parents died in an alley, getting shot by some thug. But yeah, it's relatable on the sense of losing somebody that was very dear and close to you, and that's the same thing with like Thorn. Thorn lost his daughter, and like losing a daughter, that's such a that's very young.
A mind flayer.
That hits hard. So you can see his position.
That thing's
but
bound to
he
be
went
dangerous,
way
even
too
if
dark
injured.
with his position.
Best be careful.
I'm just killing you.
Monster. Death is too good for it.
And like I said before, I'm picking you up because I want to see if this actually works, where the hobgoblin dude doesn't find your body, bringing you to the camp. Actually, we should do that right now. Just drop him off at camp. Alright, where am I dropping him? You know what, this spot over here has nothing going on, so we're gonna drop you right here. Okay, I'm forgetting my controls for a second. Here we go. You just rest right here. There you go. So stay right there. Dang. Hobgoblin's getting you this time. Fucking dumbass. Alright. Alright, back to the real world. Or the world. There, I wanna try and see that guy get his body now.
Dead goblins over there. Worth checking for supplies, maybe.
I gotta figure out what I can do to fix that. Maybe there's something else I can do in here to help that. No, it wouldn't be in. It would be here, wouldn't it? No, that's not it. It would be in gameplay, wouldn't it? No, it wouldn't be. Would it? Hold on. Oh my gosh, maximum auto saves 25? What the frick? Online visibility, friends only. I've never gotten to play the co-op yet. Eavesdrop. Why is there an eavesdrop? Allows you to automatically listen in on another player's dialogue scenes when possible. What? That's interesting. I mean, that would be helpful if you wanted to frickin' listen to their choices too. So, Orin. Crazy bitch. So Orin is a chosen of Baal, which is the god of murder, which is very heavily big, like, point of the original Baldur's Gate, especially since the main villain of that was very much, and he's actually connected in this game too. No, it's definitely not here. I think it's video, yeah. It's video. Should I do... it's gonna screen tear though. What if I do triple? God. Oh, it went back up to 60 apparently. Let's do double. We'll do 40. I'm sorry that I'm going with this. Did it save that, by the way? Oh, it does not save it. How do I save it then? How do I save that? Why is there not a save option?
What's going on with that room? Looks unstable somehow.
Gale.
You approach the sigil on the stone. Magic glitters and swirls from it erratically, as if malfunctioning. It looks slightly dangerous.
So, Orin's are chosen as the god of ball unless you choose spoiler Dark Urge, which is also the spawn of ball, the son of ball. I think she's chosen unless you go through with your Dark Urge. And Orin is below General Thorn, but above Warcash for me. She's an evil bitch. She can have a pretty cool boss battle compared to... Warcash has the weakest boss battle of all the three chosen, honestly. These boss battles, unless you fight them with the robots or the Steel Watch, like, it's harder that way, of course, but goddamn, it's boring. But, Warren can have a cool boss battle with the Dark Urge if you don't do your, or if you do, I think. But,
A hand? Anyone?
that just makes the boss battle easier. Turn into that creature there. Never suck the same thing. I'm not doing that. I want him. Oh my gosh, I was supposed to. But, yeah, I think that frickin'
Keep pulling!
Warren's pretty good. No, Warren's better. Even though guys earlier, he has a much cooler scene, too, when he first beat him with frickin' axe gets thrown in his chest. And, he's just like, try it.
Hello. I'm Gale of Waterdeep.
And
Apologies.
And he has an axe in his hand that he could just use on the frickin' goblet. He just drops it and goes for the frickin' WWE body slam. No.
A bit shocked, but friend,
He just takes
it's
both
a
his hands
relief
together
and a
and
pleasure
shoves,
to make your
smashes
acquaintance.
the frickin'
Say,
his
but I
hands
know
into the
you,
frickin'
don't
goblet.
I? In a manner of speaking.
He's
You're
just
on
so
the North Lord as
cold-hearted.
well.
He's barely on screen. I love that I was able to kind of you could almost do like a Saren thing with him too, where you can kind
I
of
can only assume you too were on the receiving end of a rather unwelcome insertion in the ocular region. The insertee we speak of, this parasite,
I like that. It
are you
reminded me
aware
of
that
the,
after a
like,
period of excruciating gestation, it will turn us into mind flayers? It's a process known as ceremorphosis, and let me assure you, it is to be avoided. You don't happen to be a cleric by any chance, do you?
I thought it was pretty
A doctor?
Orin was
Surgeon?
try-hard.
Uncannily
Crazy bitch.
adroit with a knitting needle?
I do like her pretending to be other characters and
You
stuff.
seem to know
and
enough
her
about our
important
condition to
story
realize it's
connections
beyond
with the
most
Dark
clerics'
Urge.
skills.
Dark Urge is really
Most?
great, depending
No
on the
doubt.
direction you
But I
take.
find myself hoping to be in the
Fucking
presence
hell.
of the few.
And can have some
You
of the
don't happen to be
darkest
one of them.
endings. So the Dark Urge is definitely up there. I would put the Dark Urge above frickin' Orin even, and Thorn. And then there is
As we've established, few enough can.
another.
It's not exactly a common affliction. We're
villain.
most certainly going
So
to need a
Minthara,
healer.
Let's talk about
And soon,
Minthara real
too.
quick. Minthara's been
How
good. I love
about
the
we lend
voice
each other
actress
a
that
helping
plays her,
hand
and
once
she's
more
so
and look for a healer
deliciously evil.
together?
Love her voice, and I love her design. I love drow or dark elves. It's essentially a dark elf. But she's just so
Most excellent.
cool in her
Parasite
design.
shared is a
She's
parasite
frickin' cool
halved,
as hell.
or something to that effect. Oh, but before you think you're about to embark on a journey with most ill-mannered a man,
can have her join you later.
thank you for pulling me out of that stone. It's an act of foresighted kindness, I assure you. For I have the feeling ample opportunities will present themselves for me to return the
But she's
favor.
really powerful. She can literally go up to 300 hit points. Yeah, like her highest level over 300, and that's freaking crazy. She's like, she's got even more freaking hit points and everything than Karlach. Karlach's like the second most. That's crazy to me. Alright, so I gotta save somewhere where it's not like a freaking whatever that freaking breaking of the game was. Let's go over here and do this first. But yeah, I really like the Dark Urge. I really like Minthara. Minthara's up there with General Form. I would probably put her. I think the only reason that I'm not going to say
You're
that
both
she's
twice as tall as me, but I'm half the bloody backbone.
But we don't know what that thing even is. And what about the crypt?
And you can
I'm telling you, it's a ship. And the crypt can wait. Mari and Barton have been trying to break in for days. Now we... Stop! Got ourselves competition already. That's our ship.
She definitely leans more towards like evil choices. Use this again, see if we... Oh boy,
Well, in that case, come on you lot. No point in getting killed. Second worm gets the cheese and all.
Second mouse gets the cheese, no?
Nobody's getting any damn cheese! Now move it!
So...
You're more cunning than you look.
Yeah,
I thought we had a fight on our
I would
hands.
say the Dark Urge is up there. Ball's barely in it, same with the Butler, so like I'm not gonna really count them as villains. But they are in it for a short time. Same with the oh, there's also Raphael. Raphael reminds me of like a Disney villain. He even sings his own Disney villain song essentially later on, which is pretty ridiculous. And I love that song. God, the frame rate is so freaking awful. What the frick? Calm down. Jeez. Walk slowly for you. Okay, I gotta choose
You
the
think
right
it's
decision
dangerous?
here this time because I freaking messed up last time.
Zoru was right. Yellow as a toad and twice as ugly.
The thing's dangerous. Leave it for the goblins to kill.
And if it escapes, how will you... Oh, a guest.
Your skull pounds in response to the prisoner's white-hot stare. Her
There are
lips
villains
don't
amongst
move,
the Yankee
yet you
as well,
hear
but
her
they're
voice.
definitely there.
Get rid of them.
I would probably put them down by like Blackett and such, as I was saying. Which is under Gorkesh. Let's see, which one was it? Where it looks dangerous, but I've handled worse. Leave it to me. Get to safety. Trap in. Okay, yeah, we want the paladin option. What? Okay, thank goodness I have other options.
He's right. Let's go. We need to check out that blast.
Gale.
You didn't hear it? Shook our camp good, so we came for a look.
Thank goodness I chose the right one this time.
Northwest. Look for Nettie. Whatever your wound, she can mend it.
And be careful. There are goblin traps everywhere.
Nymessa, come.
Enough gawking. Get me down.
You two get out of here. I gotta get her out.
Enough dawdling.
Observe
Get me
and
down.
listen. You'll hear goblins before you see them.
As you say.
I think we're going to remove Shadowheart. Shadowheart as this true goal.
The tadpole hasn't yet scrambled all your senses. Auspicious. But the longer we wait, the more it consumes. My people possess the cure for this infection. I must find a creche. You will join me.
Careful. She obviously sees your kindness as weakness. Don't let her take advantage.
It is many things. A hatchery, a training grounds, a shelter.
Githyanki protocol is clear.
So the other villain
When infected with a Gaith tadpole, we must report to Augustil for purification.
Spoilers here. So go like 5-10 minutes ahead of this. But the other villain is more of a secretive villain, and that is your stranger that you make.
You may as well suggest a wyvern bow to worms. The cure I offer will suffice as thanks.
The stranger turns out to be a squid man with it. And
you're full up.
Also
Dismiss someone
very
first.
Manipulative of you, is more of a manipulative secret villain that you find out is Baldurian as well, which is quite a plot twist. And has also killed his friend Bronze or Golden Dragon or whatever the frick. And Anus, something like that. I can't remember his name. So we're gonna take.
I suppose this affords me a little alone time. Until later, then.
All right. See ya.
Good. Our victory is most certain. You have made an ally from Kresh Kalir. Few know such fortune. Call me Lae'zel. Come. The Horned Ones mentioned a camp. One there, this Zoru, has seen Githyanki. A Kresh must be near. We will ask this Zoru where he has seen my kin.
Okay. Oh no, she's. Alright, I gotta level them up.
Yes?
But yeah, I would put his character, which is the Emperor, on my favorites. But very manipulative villain is also Orpheus. You'll find out who Orpheus is later. In this shell that you have to fix. I think Raphael's up there too, because Raphael's not only the hardest boss battle in the game for me, but he's also he just is such a charismatic and very Disney-esque feeling villain of the good old days of Disney, not the modern Disney that we know now. It's really cool. I usually like I'll go with necromancy. So let's see. This, and this. Yeah, that's how it looks. Okay. But yeah, he's up there definitely as one of the best, next to Dark Urge and Absolute. And Thara is a little below them, probably next to General Thorn, because technically, while she is very evil, especially with choices that you can make, she is not nearly the most evil, as she is kind of made somebody's bitch later, unless you save her, or kill her. Either one, she can die early, but she's got quite a bit of screen time if you don't kill her. But she leaves a goddamn impression on you, for sure. Something. Gale.
Let's move.
Which is fine. Yeah, I think if I had to go with what my favorite villain that isn't like a main character, that can't be just a main character villain like the Dark Urge, I'd probably have to go with just like General Thorn and Minthara. They stand out the most to me. They're probably my personal two favorites.
I hear shouting up ahead.
Let me look at it. Did it seriously not change? Okay, it is at 40, so it's just being stupid. But if I do triple buffering, if not, I'll go for the... David about this. Alright, let's see how the screen tearing thing is. Maybe we gotta... God, it's even freaking weird here. Oh my gosh. The screen tearing is actually really bad. Nope, we're not dealing with that. What the frick? Oops. Yeah, no, we're not dealing with that. What if we... I hate turning it down though, but like I feel like I have to. Ridiculous this is. This game's so stupid. Turn it all the way up. Just above 60. Oh, everybody's getting in position. Yeah, yeah.
Open the bloody gate!
Nobody gets in! Zevlor's orders!
That pack of goblins will be on us
They're
any
right
second!
behind you right now.
What's going on? Goblins are on our tail! Open the gate, Zevlor, now! You let goblins here? Where is the druid?
OBS just does not like it.
Please! There's no time!
So I'm so sorry for you can see why I don't I think it is because I have a lot of saves.
Hells! Open the gates!
There's a lot of NPCs on screen. I can mess with it. It's so awful. It's better.
Cannon! No! Shit! Form a line!
Why are you being like this game? Please stop. This is like so annoying.
Provoke the blade.
This turned out to 70. So we'll deal with 60. That is. That was fast. You missed. Did you just jump? Oh my gosh, it's... Yeah, I gotta delete some saves. This is freaking ridiculous. If it is that, that's messing with it. It could not be from my own. It could just be...
With haste.
In fact, that was stupid. It's not always like this. Seriously? So I was gonna talk about companions next, as well as romances. So there are multiple companions. And how do I rank companions? And that's also ranking. Am I ranking companions based on how much I like their character, or how much I like? I think I'll do both. Like how much I like their character versus like how useful they are in combat. God, that's so much to talk about. Just come on over here, start good job with the grease. Freaking lots. Ow.
Get to the high ground! Leaders! Charge the bastards! For the absolute!
Oh my gosh. Seriously? Frickin' grease.
My sickle and sword! Down!
Actually, like when it comes to utilizing somebody in combat, I like at least, honestly. Well, it's still not bad, but like I found everybody else gets way more ridiculously powerful. Has some ridiculous advantages to them. I mean, Will's got some good powers here and use good spells. But otherwise, he's probably the one I'm going to use the least just because of his freaking abilities don't really, depending on how you choose, like, his abilities and stuff, kind of level on them. Could also be that. It's even lagging to the point they're not even showing their animations. It's that freaking terrible right now. It's freaking awful. Yeah, so much. What if somebody kills Zephyr? We never have anybody kill Zephyr before. Let's see. I think I want to kill this guy right here.
Quickly.
Bleed, every last one of you!
Yeah, it's like on delay. And she's dead. Oh god, she's... No! Frick's sake with the grease, bro. Okay, you know what? I don't remember who did the grease thing, but... Okay, even though it's unnecessary. Here. Game's pissing me off with its frame rate. Would be my next realization. I don't know. I honestly like most of the other mechanics. Asterion has a good space. It can be pretty powerful. Zell can be pretty powerful. Shadowheart can be pretty ridiculous. I think I use Shadowheart the most. Also, freaking, even though there are some abilities I don't like in their powers that are a little annoying, like I hate. Actually, some other characters can have that same ability, but she's the one I notice the utilization of it the most because it just slows things down and it really charm ability she has pretty much automatically already on her, and I hate that ability because it just feels more like a waste of time than anything. And
On my way.
Let's have some fun. Come on then.
Stab him. Finally.
That was the last of them. Inside! All of you! More may follow! Open the gate!
Yay! They're all dead. Finally.
Damn.
I wish the frame rate was dead. No, actually, I want the opposite. I wish the frame rate was alive. Why is the frame rate was not like this when I originally played this game? Better. Now it's just ass eternally throughout. And, like, goddamn. Like that. I can't wait till I can get a PC that runs way better. Because I'm still thinking of getting like a PC that I can build. My friend wants to help out with that. Dave. I've never built a PC, but I'm thinking of doing that. It just depends when I'd be able to. I'm just glad I have a good PC that can run this, even though it runs like ass now for some reason. It just does not like me. It was not running this bad before. So I don't know why it's being ass. I think I know some things that's kind of being asked. Rank like favorite companions when it comes to like, I think that's a bad idea for me. I guess Halsin's okay, but like Halsin's not one I'm immediately jumping to.
There are children here, you fool!
As well as I don't always have Minthara
for our lives.
Like Minthara
You led them straight to us, and you let them take the druid too? Unbelievable!
Realizing that I can't have her with me, I've been utilizing her more.
And who the hell are you again? Show some respect. This man saved your pathetic life. Well, I didn't ask for any goddamn help. Please, you were begging me to open the gate. Anything to save yourself, you coward!
The human's eye twitches. He's about to blow.
He's also got bad textures. Let's try to persuade them, even though I feel like this is, yeah, look at that. Oh my gosh, it actually worked.
You're right. There's too much at stake.
Worried about your precious hides, the both of you.
Enough! Squabbling is pointless. The goblins have found us.
At least we agree on that.
Not really.
More goblins could arrive at any moment. Lovely.
Oh. Thank you, Asturian. I think I want to mostly rank the characters based on their personalities and their backstories and such, rather than as well as romances, rather than like how they play. Because I don't think I could choose, honestly. If I rock anybody, I would do like Gale, Lae'zel, Shadowheart, I think, and then switch out sometimes Lae'zel and and I love Karlach as well. Frick.
Far too.
I would have them switch out between like them and then like Karlach would join once in a while. I would have. It's like kind of a even utilization of each of the characters. I think the one I use the least is Will. Just because I just don't find him that useful in combat a lot of the time. I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong with Will's character. I do like Will as a character though, I just don't like him in actual combat. He's the weakest from what I've utilized. And I have utilized him a lot, and I just still feel like he's fucking, I don't know, he just doesn't stand out amongst the others. Like freaking Lysel and Minthara, Lysel, and freaking Karlach are all really powerful. They're such heavy hitters that like they really help out in just annihilating enemies on the battlefield. Gale is very useful, even though he's got very low health. Same with Astarion and even Shadowheart. Like they have lower health than the fighter, barbarian, paladin characters. They still contribute a lot with their magic and how much ground they cover and how many enemies they can hit at once. As well as healing with Shadowheart, she's very helpful there. She's got some spells that are crazy powerful, can almost annihilate entirely annihilate their health when they hit. She does have a lot of
You would choose strangers over us.
Too.
That's not what I said.
It's really hard to
Can we
choose
stop
between them.
shouting?
If anything, Will is
No?
the weakest. He's like a rapier. He mostly uses a rapier unless I give him like a wield or a shield or something. Like he can't essentially be useful then. But a lot of the time, he's missed a lot for me. His spells are either inaccessible, like half of his spells has been weirdly inaccessible even when I'm already rested at camp, or like they also miss or just don't nearly have the power that like Shadowheart and such have. I don't know, something about Will is just like weakest, but I've given Will the coolest armor sets, which freaking sucks, and that's why I want to utilize him more, as he just looks freaking awesome whenever I give him a badass armor set on the battlefield.
Calm down.
It's like, god damn it,
Please.
Will, why do you look why do I always
leave them
think he has
behind.
such sick armor?
You're going to get us killed.
Suck. And I think it's because also the horns help to make the armor set look sick when he has horns, at least. Unless I have a playthrough where I decided to kill Karlach.
Can't keep the goblins out forever. This is
I
no
have had
fortress and
playthroughs.
we're no warriors.
I think one or two maybe. Just to see how that like plays out. And the different directions I can take with the characters. But other than that, like, goddamn, freaking. Let's talk to these characters real quick.
Hells! We can't just leave. They're kin!
I'll not gamble our lives, our futures, on people who are as good as dead. We must leave for Baldur's Gate at once. Can we all just take a moment, please?
What's the point in blades and spells if we don't bloody use them? We should stay! These people aren't fighters. We can help!
Or yell louder. That's fine too.
Man is everything. You don't abandon those who swear to protect.
I made no such oath, and I will not be held responsible for these people.
Just be responsible for yourself then. We have to stay. It's the right thing to do.
Zerg. Fine. We'll stay. If we survive, it'll make for a good story, I suppose.
Thank you, Roland.
Don't be grumpy, Roland. We'll get to the city soon. I am not grumpy.
Did that cow just give me the side eye? Is that normal?
Something's off. This creature isn't what it appears to be.
Moo!
Oh, he's inside me.
And again.
Bitch! Did I not say anything else? Okay.
That's curious.
Do I have an animal contribution? Oh, that'll work. Oh yeah, I can make my outfit.
can't keep the goblins out forever. This is no fortress, and we're no warriors.
Yeah. What about the leggings? And those. Is that the leggings?
Good work, kids. You're all heroes. Each and every one of you.
Oh, that looks good. Okay. That matches my yellow eyes. God, frame rate, chill. Seriously. Not like we're in a
He
populated
stares
area
right
with full
past
of
you, as if you're
NPCs.
invisible. Or boring.
Hey, I'm not boring. Frick you. Bitch. Let's see.
He's still staring right past you.
I don't think he can talk.
You see nothing out of the ordinary. As you turn back, the child slips between the rocks.
Hey, I got an X roll.
You find the edges of a concealed entrance.
I won't go in there though because I think they get pissed off at you if you do. Take that for some purposes.
Can't keep the goblins out forever. This is no fortress, and we're no warriors.
Nothing in there. Come on.
Wonder what's past this.
When did we get metallic gloves? What? I don't remember having those. potato. Alright. I think that's... That's everything, maybe? What's that book? Tarbell's Guide to Distractions. Huh. What's this? Muddy red dye. I hate the muddy red dye. Take that, that. My phone just gave me a notification. That does do more damage. Anybody else have stuff? Of course, you have bottles on you, probably drink too much. Anyways, I think that's everything. Oh, you can take that, and this. There you go. All right, I think that's everything I want to sell to you. Yeah.
You bought something.
You suddenly feel something moving against your back and turn.
Stop frame rate, please.
I can't do this anymore, Mattis. I'm sorry.
Like that. Great.
Hey, you here to trade or? Yeah, I know. I was standing right here telling her to rob you. I am sorry. Sorry we're still talking about this. Look, you caught her. Good for you. You aren't a chump like everyone else around here. Now, do me a favor. Make room for the chumps.
In your Children's Thieves Guild, you're just combining Skyrim's Thieves Guild with the frickin' children from Fallout 3. What is that frickin'? What are those? Little lamp frickin' children, I believe. Children cult. Anyways. So, I'll just get into the characters' personalities and stuff, or what I think. So, I'll say the weakest characters, so I finally got to play Halsin's story more. His is very short, so I will put him at the bottom. But he's still a pretty good character. He's got a great design, most of the characters do. But he is the one that has the least to him. And Thara's probably up there. I actually really like her, and she's got a lot to her, though you do, in the second act is where she mostly has her character development.
By Mordai's eyes, another one. My friend's blood not enough. Come to rip me open too.
In Kresh Kalir, a formal greeting begins with a bow.
Is this monster with you?
Bow, bitch.
Lower.
Oh, you're not going to eviscerate him? I was hoping for a show.
Cool your blood. I'll indulge you soon enough.
What do you mean by that?
Please. I've been through enough.
chill, please. It literally cut out the entire conversation that she was gonna have. What is going on with my game? The game is just not functioning properly for some reason. I gotta get rid of some saves. I gotta do something.
And again. The locals prove compliant. A useful trait.
So...
A shell so thin requires little to crack it. The teeth sling was clear. If there are Githyanki west of here, that must be our objective. Purification cannot wait. I am unfamiliar with the... Well, I shall not say culture. Custom, perhaps. You will educate me on matters of this Fey run. The Kresh holds the Zaithisk. It will cleanse us of the parasite. By covenant, I can say no more.
The next person, I actually find Asterion a bit disappointing. I understand, once again, like I said in my other Baldur's Gate video, I understand why people love him so much. He's obviously a sex icon. You can tell people are going to freaking literally fall in love with him. He's well designed, the voice actor has so much personality, is giving it his all, and just, yeah, he's like, everybody's gonna fall in love with his character, literally, and want to bang him. But I just found his actual story, I think it's because I've watched so many vampire stuff, and I know so much vampire stuff in general, that he just kind of comes across when I see the other characters' backstories and stuff, or even their designs help him through. Like, his story is just the most generic to me, because it's I basically sum it up to, he's some vampire lord's bitch. That's how I sum it up. Oh, and there's some ritual that takes place to make his master more powerful later. Which is the part of the story I do like when it talks about the carvings, and I think when you get into his romance there's more to that. But otherwise, I just find him the most basic of the characters. You're more there for his personality and such than you are for his backstory. But the other characters have such good personalities, acting and such. Also, Lae'zel, I have to give the actress credit because she has to pronounce so many ridiculous words in the, like, Githyanki language. It's kind of like frickin' a character in Lord of the Rings that needs to learn how to speak in Elvish. Like the equivalent of that, and I have to give credit that they do a great job. And they have so much ridiculous dialogue they have to say.
That's the way.
So, not only are they just giving a really good performance and one with great personality, but they're also just have probably a tough job with that the most. But yeah, the guy who plays Asterion won the award for being the best, and I can see why. But when it comes to actual backstory and stuff, I actually find him
She's a thief, Hellspawn, and you will wait for Korga's judgment. Now get back!
Let me through,
Ragrasham, or I'll rip your damn throat out!
Sway Asterion. I guess it's supposed to be like neutral evil or whatever. Or whatever you, chaotic neutral. I don't know how you would say it or call it. But yeah, he's, I don't know, he didn't feel like he went all out like Minthara does. He's kinda in the middle, kinda similar to Lae'zel.
Come, Magwyn, give him a chance. You,
yeah.
get back!
She's a forceful bitch.
No, and you'll find trouble all the same unless you get out of my sight.
A moment, Giona.
What? Oh, I understand. You. Apparently Korga wants to see you. Go ahead.
I do wish
wish I could understand you.
Follow here. Follow. Hi, Volvo.
My good friend. You were at the gates just now, no? When the goblins came? You saw them up close?
Yes.
A few questions, if you please. There's no overstating my interest. Glory. Now then, how would you describe that particular batch of goblins? Size, nature, distinguishing qualities?
You search your mind, successfully recalling various details of goblin behavior.
My, a scholar after my own heart. Spent much time among goblins? I've always preferred experience to the second-hand accounts of lesser men. But to each their own. Now, I've a few more questions, if you don't mind. And the dragon they had marching in the rear, was it of the brass or silver
he was kind of
variety?
like Orlando Bloom in both Lord of the Rings and the Pirates of the Caribbean, where he's just kind of an actor chosen for sex appeal. And I feel like the same can be said here.
Witnesses noticed red dragon marching at rear.
Character. I just found his backstory wasn't as interested in, especially
Last
since I've
question,
seen so many
then you'll be
vampire
quite
backstories.
free.
I found
Did the
Cazador as
attackers
well, the main
rally
villain
to
that
the
you
absolute
fight.
when they fell
It's
upon the
either really
gates?
easy if you don't take a story in with you, or he's annoying. And his voice actor, while still good, is not the voice I expected for that character and how he's like talked about. He's just a very underwhelming villain compared to the other ones. Oh, and I forgot all about the frickin' whatever the frick her name is that Shadowheart has to confront. She stands out a little more and is definitely a pretty big threat. I mean, she herself is pretty easy to kill, but when it comes to her entire battle with everybody else, she's freaking ridiculous. That's like one of the hardest fights I had to do.
Oh, curious.
So
Curious indeed.
One of the weakest.
I've interrogated one. A captive in this very camp.
And the funny
She
thing
reports
is, I think
they've
also when
abandoned
I
their god
first
Maglamiet
played, I
in favor of someone called the Absolute. The scandal!
Like the last fights after like Orin and such, and even Ortash, so it was just kind of like underwhelming in that way if you do it in that direction. But if you do it in a different direction, I guess it can be harder.
Ah, but is superstition all? These goblins are informed by a kind of strategy anathema to their kind.
There are some other cool things like you found out.
For one, intend to get to the bottom of it. I'm just preparing to head to their camp as we speak, in fact. If you'll excuse me, I ought not to door roll.
So he's interesting there at least, finding about more about his past in those ways. But otherwise, I just found him the least interesting of the characters that I wanted to know more about the backstory of.
Oh, never you mind. Who needs mercy when you've a quick tongue?
So, I'll talk about Lae'zel next.
An invisibility potion stashed in your back pocket.
There.
Until we meet again.
So for the most part, she's kind of an asshole to you, and she's very forceful. Like she wants to have her way. She can romance, which we'll get to. She wants to beat her up and eaten up by her. She's just very controlling and a dominating figure. Play a similar reversal on her. But so while she is basically an encyclopedia or a history book of her people, and you're mostly learning about her people, her exposition of her, the reason I think it works here is not only does the exposition serve a purpose even later for her character, because you can technically sway how she looks at her own history and stuff, and even change her entire perspective and stuff on her own, like beliefs and such. And she can have an entirely different outlook, and she's a very developed character by the end. She actually softens up compared to how rough she is. She's actually, I think, the only character, too, that when you asked her, because each of the characters have their own kissing animations and stuff, you have to literally, the first time, you have to do like a decently difficult roll just for her to frickin' kiss you. She's like, in public, seriously? Why would you indulge in this? It's funny.
She must pay the price.
But, yeah, I found her character develops the most of everybody. God, this man, I'm gonna probably delete some saves.
I'm sorry.
This is madness, Korga. She's just
a what, Wrath? A thief? A poison?
It's a good PC.
A threat?
I'm glad I'm able to play this.
I will imprison
I need
the
an
devil.
Elgato too, maybe the Elgato
And I will cast out every stranger.
A death viper. You have milked their poison before. A single drop of it could kill that child in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, I'm playing Dark Urge.
She's a parasite. She eats our food, drinks our water, then steals our most holy idol in thanks. Wrath, lock her up. She remains here until the rite is complete. And keep still, devil. Tila is restless.
Come, Korga. We took back the idol. Surely...
Do it.
The snake's hiss of approval reveals its intentions. Should the child struggle, it is poised to strike. The death of a child. A timeless tragedy that never grows old.
I'm not doing that. Let's see.
Very well. She may go.
Oh, come on, Lae'zel.
Break your word, and my serpent shall feed. Sif, Tila to me! Out, thief.
That was a weird
My
word
grace
to
has its
say.
limits.
Thank you, Korga. Master Halsin...
Halsin isn't here. Keep his name off your tongue, lest Tila pierce it.
You're a bitch. Oh, Gale wants to talk. Hi, Gale.
Tiring business, isn't it? All this traveling and adventuring. Why don't we take a little break, Allow ourselves a few moments of rest? Gives me a chance to talk to you about something, well, rather important. We've been on the road together for a while now, haven't we? Survived some perils, overcame some obstacles. Ever since you were kind enough to free me from that stone, I've seen you demonstrate remarkable guile and courage. The way you diffused the tension between Zevlor and Aradin. The way you got Korga to release the girl. In short, I've grown to trust you.
You trust very easily.
The reason I make a point of saying this is that I've grown
Is this a
confident
speed run
enough to
for,
tell you something
Gale's
I've yet to
trust?
tell another
Because I
living
think I
soul.
won.
Except for my cat. You see, I have this condition. Very different from the parasite we share, but just as deadly.
So, who's my... So I think Gale... I'll talk about Gale a little bit.
The specifics are rather personal, but suffice it to say that it is a malady I've learned to live with. Though not without some effort.
Him and Karlak
What it comes down to is this. Every so often, I need to get my hands on a powerful magical item.
and absorb the weave inside. It in a very interesting way and differently from one another.
I can say no more on the matter. Not now, anyway. Just trust me when I say it's all of vital importance. It's been days since I last consumed an artifact, since before we were abducted. It's only a matter of time before my craving returns. That is why I turn to you. I need you to help me find magic items to consume. It is vital. Dare I say it? Critical.
And that there's a lot of background with him messing with magic, and one of the things was, I think it was Karsus, he was messing with something to do with Karsus, and he ended up with I don't know exactly how to word it or how it happened, but it's interesting that he ended up with an orb, part of the weave in his chest, and that the only way of like keeping it calm, because it could level a city if you let it blow, and Mr. even asks him to use it to sacrifice himself later, and you can talk him out of it. And he can even interact once again with Mr. But I just found his backstory interesting. He has very cool little moments, though it's weird that he can end up in those moments just romantic with you all of a sudden. Doesn't matter what gender or you are, it's just like, hey, I think there's love in the air. I only knew you for an hour, so okay, maybe not in game, but still the equivalent of that. And you already want to bang. So he is quick to be like, want to do it? So it's a little weird.
We've already done the finding.
But yeah,
in fact,
I found his backstory
you have one in your possession.
Even his romance.
You know for yourself how hard won such an item was, and it will be no easier when even more are required to assuage my hunger.
Into like the
there'll be danger involved,
that place was called,
or great cost.
Getting the name now. There's so many names I gotta like keep up with.
Splendid. Bit of boldness will serve us
I
well.
like his design.
I'm sure we won't have to look very far to find what I need. Faerun overflows with magic-infused treasure. As do our packs, as a matter of fact. We've such an item already in our possession. Primed for the moment the need arises. I hope I can count on you.
But yeah, I really liked his character background, his story. Even kind of one of his last quests that you can do, where you basically you do like a heist on a magical bank or whatever. That's kind of cool. And that he's able to conclude things with Mystra herself. And Alminister gets involved.
Go on, say it.
But I wouldn't.
You think I'm a
romance
monster?
him the most of the characters, though. I will say that. So, yeah.
Yes, you would say so. I know your kind.
Come on, Liz.
You see only villains and victims. A viper bears her fangs defending her brood. I call her mother. You call her monster. No matter. I took back the idol of Sylvanus, and the rite is resumed. We will seal the grove, free from harm, free of intruders. The Rite of Thorns. It is the Tree Father's gift that none come to harm.
So, Karlach,
When we speak the final prayer, the great vine will sprout forth. The grove will be cloaked in bramble and thorn. No one enters, no one leaves.
And
Sanctuary.
she can't.
None of this can happen while Outlanders infect us. Sylvanus demands that we choke them
She
out.
hasn't touched anybody in a long ass time. So you can imagine she's kind of like Rogue from X-Men now that I think about it, where she can't touch anybody without hurting them. It's kind of a similar story to Rogue.
I am First Druid now. I protect the Circle, whatever the cost.
Yeah, she's
You showed great mettle at the gate. The mettle of a skilled sword for hire.
Touched anybody in years and
I want you to provide your services to the Tiefling leader. Zevlor, he's called.
She wants to
offer to guide the Outlanders out of the grove. I'm sure they'll reward you well. They're to be gone before final prayer. If they are not, the Viper must strike.
Be able to touch, but if you do that, she has a short lifespan then, because she will explode unless she goes back to Venice or Venus or whatever the frick.
You will do more than speak. This tale ends but one way. With the Outlander rot cleansed, and the Grove forever shrouded.
Connection to why Will's hunting her down, because Will's hunting her down, and I'll talk about Will in a sec. But yeah, I like her backstory. She's on the way. You even help her fight the people that are trying to bring her back to Zariel. She's from Zariel and fought in the bloody ass war. I love her design. She's got a very iconic design. There's no, like, I can see why so many people have done animations. She's like the standout character when they do animations of like characters from wait, I wanted to talk to somebody else here. But yeah, a lot of the characters have a great design. She definitely has one that stands out. I will say, why isn't she on like the post for a lot of the posters for the artwork and all that crap for like the advertising of the game? That is a little weird to me. Because I actually really like her character, and I feel like she didn't really have. Because like when you're launching the game, you see everybody else on the freaking artwork for the launching the game, but yeah, she's kind of left
I see you. Just give me a moment.
A moment.
This may be cat. There. It's up to her now. Life or death. Now, what was it you needed? I do what I can. For most folks, that's enough. Come here. Let's have a look at you. You seem healthy enough. A bit tired around the eyes, maybe. A tadpole. A mind flayer tadpole.
I like the frog hopped in my eye one.
I'll do what I can. Come, follow me.
Some of the dialogue
I might be able to help.
This game's got a great sense of humor.
We need to be quick. This way.
What else should I talk about? I think there's more to say about the part lag. I have more, like... Yeah, but Will's hunting her. I'm trying to think what else there is. She has a pass with Gortash as well.
This one had the same problem as you. Attacked us in the woods together with some goblins.
He betrayed her.
Tadpole crawled out of his head soon after.
So she has a giant hate relationship with him.
Seems so.
But,
Gave Master Halsin a right start.
Yeah, I found her very interesting with just the engine heart. She's very well designed. I like her backstory. There's so much to her unfolding. Her various things throughout her story.
It's why he joined the adventurers on their expedition. To find out what was happening.
Then, she's
I pity you got me instead of him. He understands these things. Studied them.
She's freaking tough.
Still,
I love her personality.
we have options.
Very quirky, but also just like
All right.
straightforward with things.
Let's see what we can do.
Can be kind of awkward, but I like that. That's what made me like Tally and garrison aspect.
It might. But first things first. Tell me about your symptoms. Have you noticed anything strange happening? Victims can identify each other. Not that the others know they're victims, of course. How'd you pick up the parasite? Halsin was desperate to find where all this was happening. A Mind Flayer ship? But Master Halsin was sure. Look, you've been straight with me, so I'll be straight with you. You're dangerous. If you transform here, we're all dead.
I think I should talk about Minthara.
But you seem like a good soul.
I guess Minthara's...
You deserve a chance to save yourself.
Her background as she was controlled
This is a
by the
vial of
absolute
wyvern poison.
cult,
Swear to me,
that
you'll
she did
swallow it
awful
if you
things
feel
to
any
them,
symptoms.
But she's still pretty evil afterwards. But I do like her. I do like her character. There's not too much to her other than she wants revenge on the Absolute and the people who work for her now afterwards. But
I hope it doesn't come to that.
Historian,
but
shut the fuck up.
Thank you. Here. You know, I've spent my life treating folk and never once saw a Mind Flayer infection. Then suddenly, there's dozens of you. Maybe more. Master Halsin and I were tracking them, studying them, trying to figure out what the hells was going on. Because you should all be changing. There should be a small army of Mind Flayers out there. But you're not. Weird powers aside, you seem perfectly normal.
So I'll talk about Shadowheart next. So I found out Shadowheart is apparently the most romanced when this game originally came out, I think. Even I romanced her first. She's a freaking elf and she's hot. I love elves and I love hot people. Especially if they're women because, you know, I love women. But, yeah, well, how could I not go for her? She was freaking hot. And the funny thing is I was watching Shenpai's series and she was saying, how is this game making me flustered? This game makes me flustered and freaking, like, blush like I'm an anime character. There's cute freaking moments with characters in this game. And it's like, how is this game doing this? And I love her moments. She's freaking adorable. But I actually have, and I'll get to it later, but I actually have a favorite romance of everybody now. Now that I've romanced everybody. And actually, I don't remember much about Will's romance. Honestly, I think Will's is the most forgettable, but he's not a bad character to romance, weirdly enough. I don't know. Maybe I have to go through that again, see how, like, maybe there's something there I'm missing, but I'll talk about romance afterwards.
Mind Flayers reproduce by infecting someone with their parasite. 7 gruesome days later, the victim transforms and a new Mind Flayer is born. The thing in your skull, though, it's different to anything in our records. It's one of their worms for sure. But this one gives you powers, telepathic connections. And it doesn't turn you into one of them. Not yet, anyhow.
With this like cult, this is it a religion? I think it is a religion of like Shar, cult of Shar, whatever the frick.
Could be.
And
but there's a lot we don't know.
She's talked about as like I remember
infected.
seeing like what's your romance
Folks like
say
you
about you? As people
have been
were saying
converging on an old temple of Selûne. And I've no idea why.
I guess
when Master Halsin heard the adventurers were heading that way,
I don't agree
he saw
with
a chance
though.
to get answers. Joined on the spot.
But
whatever he
cool.
found
I love
there,
her design.
he didn't
think
make it
she's
back.
a very interesting character. Already the artifact, she's a very important character. The artifact very much makes her important.
The thing is, I've sent birds to find him, but the place is rotten with goblins. None of us can even get close. You, you're one of them. Technically speaking, I mean. They won't kill someone carrying their parasite.
it's
If
already
you can
something
find
that
Halsin
makes
and get
you
him out of
interested in
there,
her character, because
we
you're
can
like, why
discover
does she
what he
holding
learned.
this
And
artifact
perhaps he can
that
save
protects
your
us,
life.
that also
How's that sound?
the stranger that's in our dreams finds out.
Thank you. It would mean everything to the Grove.
Is in there.
To me.
Find out is in there.
I wish I could tell you more.
And
but
there's
only
so
those
many things
adventurers
going
know
on
what
just
happened
around
out
the
there.
artifact and why she has
All
it.
I can say for
As
sure
well as her banter
is they all went to the old temple of
the
Saloon.
fight between her
And
Lae'zel,
Master Halsin
why
didn't
she
make it
hates
back.
against Yankee.
Good luck
You
out
can
there.
resolve
And if things
her
start to go
entire
bad,
storyline
remember
in
the vial.
different ways.
Remember
That's just
your
very
oath.
interesting, and she has very strong character
One step
development.
at a time, Nettie. Come on.
There's something in that vessel. Take a closer look.
No, I'm not doing that. Frick off. Because I would technically be stealing. You guys are freaking pissy with me. I don't want that. Isn't there a room in here? Did she give me the slab for this? No. I don't think she did. No, I don't think she did.
A tidy slot, but no rune.
Yeah, she didn't give me that yet. That's later. What else do we have to talk about? So we got talked about Lae'zel's story and Gale a little bit. We talked about Karlach. I think it's just Will now. I'll talk a little bit more about Shadowheart, but Shadowheart's relatable too. She's also found out she's scared of wolves, just like the one in front of us. She has a fear of wolves. She has an interesting backstory that you can find out is kind of reversed on her, and she'll like go for worshiping the Selena goddess or whatever instead, and even change her hairstyle to be white, which is pretty cool. And I like the design. I like the trial she goes through, even though they are kind of annoying. And probably, even though I know how to get through them much easier now, they are still freaking annoying parts of the game. But yeah, she's got a great storyline. I'm already interested in not only her background,
Our little Hellion told us what happened.
also in her interactions
Thank you.
as well as whatever is connected.
Don't know
to her,
what we'd
like
do
their
without her.
impact. So she's already a character with a lot of intrigue to her, just like Gale, just like Karlach. Both their designs and whatever's involved with them both get you gripped and wanting to see more, and it's definitely stories we haven't, backstories and stuff we haven't seen before.
Likewise.
So it makes
Arabella?
it interesting. We're a historian for
Thank
me
you
personally, because I've
for helping
probably seen
me.
so many intimidating or cool empires and stuff throughout history, unless we're talking about Twilight. Then I'm just not digging his backstory as much because I feel like I've seen it.
No one does.
To some extent at least. But yeah. And even his master was disappointing. How is his master less intimidating than Christopher Lee and Bela Lugosi? This guy's played vampires way back in the day. One of them in the black and white when films were black and white. How are they more intimidating? I get the Frank.
Again.
That freaking sucks when you think about it. We'll get to Will there in a sec. But I also think Will's interesting because not only do you have Will, like Will's got great design. He's got scars on him. You want to know like how he got those scars? You want to know how I got these scars? And you want to know like his backstory, even about like his stone eye, which is like I think a magical item that helps him see invisible things or whatever. And you can get one of those eyes too later, depending on certain things you do, which I refuse. Then there's, so what else is there? There's also him with his father, as well as the background of his this devil, Azora or whatever, that he has to do dirty jobs for, and one of them was actually to kill Karlach. He's gonna go steal.
Leave it for a good while after this.
Don't make me hurt you, boy.
Too late! Looking at you is painful enough.
Wow, you were an asshole, kid. You gonna climb that ladder, girl?
Die if I met heroic and reeking of this place. Never get this.
Give it back, kid.
I already told you I...
Only gonna ask you one more time, boy.
Take it.
Hand over my locket.
I don't have your ugly locket. I've never seen it before.
Hand it over or I'll slap the teeth out of your head.
I said I don't have it. Maybe he dropped it running away from those big, scary goblins.
You little split-tongued freak!
Give it back.
What kind of question is that? Why does anyone steal anything?
Just give it back,
Fine.
bitch.
I have the stupid amulet. Take it.
To impress a girl, most like.
It looked like my mother's, all right? Just take the damn thing and leave me alone.
Keep it, kid. You need it more than me. Poor kid.
That was nice. Unless he's just legit stealing it, then that's kind of awful. I'm lying about that.
Easy, buddy.
And I'm kind of losing track of what I'm talking about, which sucks. When that happens, I have my brain parts. Man, do they stink? Like this frame rate, bro. This is early game and it's doing this. I think I have to delete some saves. Gotta take care of some saves. And I gotta create a save too. Oh, the music just stopped. Who was I gonna talk about? Oh yeah, Will. I was talking about Will. So yeah, Will. So he's working with Mizora. He can become looking like a devil, which is cool looking. I do like his one red eye, along with the horns that he gets. You can actually try and break his pact, but it could also result in his father being dead or deadish. Though there is an annoying mission to resolve with his father.
No word from
That's
the
like a
scouts yet.
timed
No,
mission.
sir.
But
if there's a clear
nonetheless,
path past those goblins, they'll find it.
there's a lot of
Yes.
things visually with his character that are interesting, making you want to know more about him, as well as his backstory itself is interesting, as well as certain scenarios you can run into with him. And yeah, I feel like every character has that. I just feel like Astarion is the weakest character that doesn't entirely have that. The best Astarion has is the scars on his back and what you find out about those. And even that I find is a little disappointing at the end, because the actual villain he's been talking about this whole time is actually one of the weaker, most pathetic of the villains that I've faced. And is just not as intimidating as I thought he would be. Even his, like, the mansion that you go to, like, usually there's cool horror sections in games, like the Thief games have these cool horror sections with freaking ridiculous creatures and stuff. But like, this was just even like Dracula castles and other games that you run into, like Castlevania and stuff, were cooler. This was just kind of pathetic, boring castle. It was kind of over and done as soon as you got through it. So I don't know, and it was short too. I guess it's short-lived, but like I felt like there should have been more. I was actually more intimidating or creepy about it, and I just didn't feel that with his frickin' castle and the actual villain himself, Cazador. I don't know. It can be a little difficult when you bring a story in with you. If you don't, which I tried once, his boss battle was super freaking easy. it just made me be like, wow, this guy's terrible. This is a vampire lord, but a joke.
With respect, sir.
He barely did anything in that part. Like, when you do that version of the boss battle without freaking bringing a story, and he's actually really pathetic. He barely fights back. He mostly went invisible, and you can technically see and still hurt him while he's invisible. So even his invisibility is nothing. So he's just one of the most pathetic endgame area bosses of all the ones you fight in the area. He just doesn't stand out. And his voice actor sounds a little whiny. It's like this guy who's trying to be like this game's equivalent of Dracula is this whiny little bitch that made Asterion his bitch. Asterian's design feels more like he would be a true vampire lord, and you can actually make him the true vampire lord if you want. So it's just kind of funny to me. I don't know. Not that I'm trying to say that Asterian's overrated. I can see why so many people once again.
If the druids are this far gone, then it's not just goblins we have to fear. So we can risk violence here, or face it for certain on the road.
Intrigued and interested in the other
Quite the choice, isn't it?
Stories and such when playing through the game. Because they had stories I haven't seen before. I've seen the vampires, some other vampire lord's bitch before. I've seen that before. I have not seen that. Like, the only part of that was interesting or unique was the ritual part. And even that had some disappointment to it. But I do like the character interactions with the story, and there's still a lot of personality to him, and he's still a really good character otherwise and well written. It's just the actual story itself was just kind of like, I'm more intrigued by the other characters. I can see why people love this guy, but they're more into him for the sex appeal and not so much the backstory and stuff.
It's good of you to offer, but there's a whole army of goblins out there. We'd need an army of our own to escort us safely to Baldur's Gate. And while I don't doubt your abilities, you're no army. There may be a way, though. Goblins are ill-disciplined. It's unlike them to organize so cleverly. Somebody must be leading them, bringing discipline to their ranks. Take out that leadership, and they'll scatter. It's no small thing to ask, but I've seen you fight. You're equal to the task.
As well as character development. I think it literally is like, oh man, that's hard. I don't think I can choose just one of them. If I'm just doing backstories and their personality and such, I love Karlach personality-wise, but I think backstory-wise, Shadowheart's the most interesting. It's between those two. Lae'zel comes in like third place. I really like Gale, and then Will is really good too. I will say that Will does kind of have the Fallout story where it's like a son looking for his father. So I will say there's a little bit of that. Like, it's we've seen that story too, but I do think they do it in a more interesting way with his character, compared to what Fallout 3 does, or what Fallout 4 does. But yeah, I think that's how I would probably go in, and of course, like Asterion last. I do like Astarion over Halsin just because Halsin's is very short-lived. And his backstory and stuff mostly takes up Act 2, or at least the story that is important to his character, integral to it. I think kind of a similar thing. You do find out that Minthara's story connects with Orin because she looked up to Orin and she almost, like, I guess she almost got in like a near-death situation with Orin. She almost worshipped Orin to an extent, but like, yeah, I guess there's a little bit there. And that could essentially connect with you on a Dark Urge character level, so there's that.
Everyone in this camp depends on it. Thank you.
Oh, shut the
We'll be
up,
ready to
Astarion.
leave as soon as you give word.
Anyways. Wait, am I going on?
The flaming fist.
I'm going the right way. Nope. I don't know, there's some weird scenes. There's even the scene that's meant to just be an endearing scene where you're sitting up looking at the beautiful starry night.
Easy money.
Even that scene feels like, hey, you wanna bang? It's like he just easily wants to bang with you, almost feels like, most of the time. But he's still a really cool character, and he does have a unique romance. Like, the once again, you go into like this ethereal form you can later on as romance, which is something that you don't see with the other romances and such. But yeah, but he is lower on the list. Will, I don't even remember much about romancing Will. I think he's a good, really good character. He has a silly dance. I remember this silly dance part he could have, dude. But I just don't remember much about Will, so Will's at the bottom as well. They're better than Halsin, but not better than everybody else. Who else is there? There's Astarion. Once again, I think Astarion's middle of the road there. He's definitely got a lot to his romance, though, and he's a very interesting character. He actually is more interesting and more endearing and stuff when you romance him, so I do like him better in the romance. But otherwise, I gotta go with some of the other characters. I do think if there's one character, if you have kissing animations, I found weirdly Lae'zel was the most underwhelming. There's something weird about the animations around her kissing, like animations that they gave her. I don't know, but it kind of makes her, other than like the one time you have to have her do like a dice roll just to kiss her, which I found funny. Yeah, and she wants to bang you quickly as well. Matter of fact, there's speed runs around that. But like, you can get like her personality. She's forceful. She even wants you and her to beat the crap out of each other, just as a show of like love or whatever. Their show of love. They're frickin' Githyanki have such a weird way of looking at so many things. Their perspectives and stuff. They're such harsh individuals. But yeah, I still found her a pretty great romance nonetheless. My friend actually said he romanced Lae'zel first because he said even his friend, which is also my friend Casey, romanced Shadowheart first, and I romanced Shadowheart first. Shadowheart, I love Shadowheart. She's probably my second favorite, maybe third. Minthara is great too. Minthara is also very forceful. She literally like gets into your mind, and then she's like, not long after that bloody battle you have. Though I feel like the reason she does it is because of the Absolute's control over her. But she just wants to bang you quick. Everybody wants to bang you really quick for some reason. Except I do like that Shadowheart takes, like, she wants to have a few drinks with you first, and then way later, she also never swam before. That's another interesting thing about her character and relatable. Again, if you're someone who's never swam before. And you can go skin dipping with her. But yeah, she's very cute, very endearing, and I found that she made me anime blush a lot. Just very flustered. Just like what Shenpai was saying when she was playing the game. But yeah, I love that. And she also has endearing, cute kissing animations, wink. But my favorite, and you saw it coming now, that I'd have mentioned her later, but Karlach. Karlach is freaking awesome. Once again, I love her personality. She's quirky. She's funny.
Throat if you can.
I love
Rest if you can.
her kissing animation. God, her kissing animations are like freaking Garrett. You know how the famous scene of Garrett and Shepard, like, kind of leaning their heads up against each other and that memorable imagery? Like, you have that, but 10 times even more adorable. It's like, how did you do that? And you're making me anime blush. Why? It's like so adorable. I love her character. She's just such a relatable and interesting character, and when she finally she can touch you, and oh, I love her talking, because later she'll get so frustrated, because it's like, I've got a time limit to freaking die! And you're like, so you feel so bad for her. And she's got, like, the ending is so badass, where you can go to hell with her, to a Venice or whatever the frick, and you can even take Will with you too. And she will just light up these double cigars in her mouth. It's like, badass, with her finger. But goddamn. It's not the ending I would prefer though, just because like I like to have my last moments with some of the other characters before her part. But goddamn. And her romance is kind of like when you don't cure her whole engine deal in her heart. It's like you just can barely kiss or do anything with her without burning yourself. I love also that she glows blue when you're romancing her and kissing her or whatever. That's freaking adorable, and I love it. But she's definitely the best. She's also, other than Minthara, probably the one that has the most graphic sex scenes. If you don't have certain things turned off or whatever, so there's that. But her character development and just her like personality in general, as well as the adorable moments with her. How is she doing this? She's my favorite to romance. I don't think I talked about Jahir, or whatever the frick her name is. She's also a returning character from Baldur's Gate. I don't remember, like, I should have talked about her. I think she was on the bottom of the list for me when it comes to using. There's also the other dude that's along with her, and he's got, like, the tattoos, the purple tattoos, or the blue tattoos, or whatever the frick on his face. His bald head. Can't remember his name, but, like, they're later game companions, though, so I don't, like, even Minthara, you can recruit before them. So I don't really remember them quite as much as the others, and I think I would put them on the bottom of the list just because I just don't remember much about them. I can't even remember really romance them either. And I just don't remember much. Swing and swing and Will. I can't remember much about Will. I'm gonna have to redo his romance, see like is there something I'm forgetting that makes him interesting? Even like they had like better, like I would even say they had better like kissing animations than Lae'zel's. Sometimes it was just awkward about Lae'zel's kissing animations. I don't know what it is. But I found her a pretty good romance nonetheless, because she has such great character depth and development by the end, because she goes from being this frickin' hard as hell on you, forceful bitch, to she's actually diplomatic, and she's actually very kind and nice, all sorts of stuff. Her personality completely changes, and there's also things that you can tell they put a lot into her, because like depending on if you or her loses that fight with one another, you beating each other up, there'll be different cutscenes, as well as there are other cutscenes that you can go into even with romancing her. Like there's like, for example, when you're done fighting or sparring or whatever, you can get to not only different dialogue, but you can either have something where you have more of a casual kiss with her, or something where you literally knock her to the ground and start just making it. So there's like different animations they actually give to that, where I don't know if there's special treatment like that for some of the other characters. There might be, and I'm not remembering it quite right. There's definitely options there for them, but I remembered Lae'zel's the most for some reason. It just stood out the most to me in those areas. It's weird talking about romances. Like, romances is not something I would talk about normally in the game, but I want to talk about them here because they stood out to me, and this game was like filled that void since I haven't had a good BioWare or Mass Effect game in a while. Andromeda does not count. That game, frickin', a matter of fact, that did the opposite of what I wanted. But this filled that void of not having a BioWare game like that. It helped fill that void. Just like I feel Elden Ring helped to fill that void. I'm playing the DLC now, by the way. Not right now, but I've been playing it off screen, off camera. And it fills that void of not having that Elder Scrolls 6. Starfield was alright, and actually Starfield was my favorite game of the year that year because I didn't get to play Baldur's Gate 3. I did vote for Baldur's Gate 3 though, for Game of the Year when that came up because I did see other people playing it. I was like, this game's got a lot of potential to it. Then I finally played it myself and I freaking couldn't stop playing it, and I just, like, I have a hard time going back to Starfield now where I'm just like, oh, Starfield, you're a bitch. I still like Starfield. I like the companions still. There's not as many companions, but you still got the Adoring Fan. I love the Adoring Fan. Vasco. The fact that Vasco can say Captain Boobies and stuff, like, falters is the fact that once you realize the ending is basically the same goddamn ending every time, except for maybe small details, but you still essentially can do the same goddamn thing. Unless the only other thing is the outcome of going to a different, like, different timeline or whatever the frick. That was. That's like, and how things can play out there. Like, that's the only difference, and I do like the interactions with that too. If you're like choose to be a Starborn, you have new Starborn dialogue options and stuff. So they definitely tried with that stuff. But goddamn, after playing Baldur's Gate 3, like, it's not even on the same goddamn level, and the fact that there's so many different ways the endings can play out, and it's not just like a very small ending that, like, doesn't leave very much impact to you. It's impactful the first time, but the next couple times it's like, okay, I've seen this already. This is same goddamn thing. Even Elden Ring and such has multiple endings. There's ones I like and ones I like less than others. But yeah, like, I feel like Starfield needed something like that. I still like Starfield. It's like a 7 out of 10 game thinking about it. I hope Shattered Space adds some more stuff to it. This helps spice it up. I really do. It needs it. But I didn't think it was as bad as everybody was saying then. I do understand some of the hate, though, but I also see some of the hate as being a little over-exaggerated and ridiculous. They at least tried. I can at least see that they tried with certain aspects of it. But, yeah. I saw a video recently saying that V was the right way of doing that main character, where Fallout 4's main character, the sole survivor, was the wrong way of doing it. I don't entirely agree with that. I do think that the main character of Fallout 4 is pretty terrible in how they executed that, because it's not what we want from a Fallout character. And they have done the talking main characters with like BioWare games like Mass Effect and stuff, so that can work. But goddamn, I don't agree with that, because V is just such an unlikable character, where at least Soul Survivor is interesting. Unless you're playing, well, they're both interesting. I like their acting is really good. They can deliver some really good dialogue once in a while. V does have great actors / actress behind V, but the problem is the way V's story plays out is, I actually like less than the Soul Survivor. The Soul Survivor is just a reverse repeat of the Fallout 3 story, but everything in between, like the interactions with the interesting characters and stuff, I just didn't find as much of that. There's less interesting characters, and most of the game of Cyberpunk's like sums up to, I actually made a reference to this where I said, hey, imagine you want to be your own individual person in the game, and like it's an RPG, it's meant to be RPG, you know, you make your own choices and all that stuff, and you want to do what you want. Like, say I want to go hang out with my friends, I want to go visit Japan or something, go see the sights. That game is the equivalent of your friend being a ghost in your head and saying, no, bitch, you're going to do what I freaking want. You're going to meet the people I want you to meet. You're going to join the gangs I want you to join. And you're going to freaking listen to me banter and rant on about this company that doesn't actually show they're evil, but I have to freaking exposition that they're evil to you anyways. 24/7. That's the equivalent of that story, and I hate it. It's freaking obnoxious and boring. It's just like, can I please do, like, you forced me to meet these characters. I mean, there's a couple, but like Jackie was the only one I was connected to, and he dies off early. So why the frick should I care about your problems, other than the fact the motivation is to get you the frick out of my head? I at least feel like the frickin' Fallout 4 story wasn't annoying. I like Nick Valentine, I like Kate, I like Piper, I like Strong. Those characters are cool. I don't frickin' care about Panam. I don't care about whatever the frick her name is. Also, they're boringly designed. One looks like Megan Fox, the other one looks like every other character with their hair swooped over and it's colored blue or whatever, and they have the tank top and all that. They're just not designed well or uniquely enough. Like, frickin', how does an anime have better, of your same universe, have better designed looking characters? Oh wait, that's the art style. Then have some style to yours instead of everybody being dressed the same and it being the norm. Once again, Manly Reviews still has a really great and relevant frickin' video on your game. It's like, goddamn, I frickin' hate that. And even if the DLC or expansion helps to expand that and make it great, don't give a crap. Do not give a crap. Even Johnny Silverhand feels like forced in, shoved in. Matter of fact, you see more of Johnny being a evil dickhead than you do Arasaka. Arasaka kind of feel like the victims, yet they're the ones that the game's trying to get across, so its messaging just kind of feels mixed. Frick Cyberpunk. If I have to go out on one last note talking about Cyberpunk, just screw that game. Frickin' overhyped as hell. God, and it got a frickin' second chance from people. What is wrong with people sometimes? I'm sorry, if you do like that game, once again, don't let me get in the way. I'm a small frickin' YouTuber. Like, why would you give a crap about that? God, that game pisses me off. Just everything around that game. It just does not live up to anything. Even before I played Baldur's Gate 3, it's a frickin' disaster in my eyes. God, that game. Like, I can't stand, it's just an obnoxious game. It also feels very pretentious. And I hate pretentious crap. When something feels so pretentious that it just gets really annoying. It's the same reason I just do not care for Zack Snyder stuff. Like, watching Zack Snyder stuff is super pretentious. Even Ridley Scott's stuff after a while. It was pretentious before, but at least it was pretentious with a personality with, like, Legend and, maybe not Legend, but freaking Alien and Blade Runner. But then later he had like Prometheus and stuff, and that stuff felt freaking pretentious in a more annoying, intrusive way. It's the same feeling I get from Cyberpunk in many ways, where it feels pretentious and thinking it's making really good freaking story and messaging in it. And it's just like, no, it sucks. It's kind of hard to watch, play. I just found its open world really boring too. It's like, it just doesn't have the same charm of like The Witcher 3. It doesn't have the same interest and intrigue of freaking even Elder Scrolls games. Like, I'm more intrigued by Skyrim's freaking world than I am Cyberpunk's, which is just freaking sad. I tried giving Cyberpunk a chance, and I didn't originally hate that game when it came out. I actually liked it, and then the more I looked into it, it was kind of like Outer Worlds, where Outer Worlds was a game I was like, oh, this game's so amazing, and then when I replayed it and started thinking more deeply about certain things about it, whether it was its themes or its characters or the way it approached its dialogue options and stuff, I just started seeing more and more of the cracks, and that same exact thing happened with Cyberpunk with me, where it's just like, god damn, I'm seeing more and more of the problems after multiple playthroughs. This game's freaking ass. The only reason I replay it is for the romances, and there's not many romance options to begin with. Even Fallout 4 had more romance options. Like, literally, you have how many freaking companions? Like 14? Like, I don't know, 12, 14 companions? And you can practically romance all of them? That's already more than what freaking Cyberpunk's offering, which is 4. Even Starfield has, like, that amount, which is disappointing about Starfield, but hey, whatever. God, the frame rate is being stupid. Oh, I gotta level up everybody
Still
too.
in control.
But yeah, sorry for that mini rant. If you like Cyberpunk, continue liking it. Don't let me get in the way of that. I'm sorry if I freaking rant and get pissed off about that game, but seriously, that game just... What the frick? What is that game? Seriously. What the frick are you? And I understand, like, I've seen the people using the perspective, like, oh, that when they were making it, they had to deal with COVID and stuff. But there were game companies, other game companies that went through COVID that had better games that came out, even AAA games. And it's like, made Fallout 1, 2, New Vegas, Outer Worlds, which even though I just talked about that, still better than Cyberpunk. They made those. That's already 4 games. Oh, what else? What was that? Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2? Oh, the KOTOR 2? Yeah, they already beat frickin' CD Projekt Red. They made more games and more successful games, multiple successful games. Even though some of them were rushed glitchy messes as well, they were somehow really successful glitchy messes. Which is very surprising, where CD Projekt Red, I just couldn't get past both any kind of successful part and the glitches. Didn't matter. The glitches did not matter, and both beat 'em ups and manly reviews showed that. Yeah, it's just such a strange thing. Let's talk to Will. God, what is going on with the frame rate? It usually doesn't act up like this in the starter areas, by the way. So I don't know why the frame rate is like this. It's just being ass. It sometimes moves itself out. You kind of have to give it some time and stuff. I'm gonna consult with Dave about this stuff.
Children! Look who's here!
Go on. Give me a best shot.
Come on, frame rate. Settle down. Chill the frick out. God, the frame rate. It's OBS,
Not bad.
I swear. I gotta freaking change OBS and go with Elgato. So once I get a freaking Elgato, this won't be freaking happening, hopefully.
I can't do it.
And I'll have more
I'm not
control
like
over
you.
how I freaking edit stuff.
I don't need you to be like me.
I do not understand OBS. It's freaking ass.
You just have to buy enough time to run. Come on. I believe in you. You can do this.
It's funny also when I'm not recording, the game runs smoothly anyways. I also gotta delete some saves too, and that might be messing with things too. Because I do have a lot of freaking saves. Also just things, if I have other things running like Discord or whatever, which I made sure to turn off after a while, this time. It's probably early in the video that I was saying that. But
kind words in unkind times, my friend.
Goddamn.
Well met. The blade of frontiers at your
even Bethesda, you know what, I'll say this, Bethesda was a good frickin' RPG creators
You
too.
are the blade of frontiers racing through the wastes of Avernus. Just ahead, a diabolical figure, red skin, single curled horn, blazes with flame, bloodied great axe held high.
This is kind of ironic.
Hell's great fires.
That's like saying BioWare is trash without realizing their past of games. They are trash now, but I mean, hey, they made some great stuff then. Like, goddamn. from their Dungeons and Dragons stuff, Neverwinter, the Baldur's Gates games, and then the Mass Effect series, Dragon Age, you name it. The first KOTOR game. Yeah, BioWare was not a joke. They were titans of that. And you're calling CD Projekt Red kings over them? Like, yeah, I guess now, but you don't really have many options. You got FromSoft and Larian Studios, that's it. So, of course. And now. But not then. What else is there? I hope that new game Obsidian is making is good. I have some problems with how that looks, but I hope it's good. What else is there? Frickin', oh yeah, Bethesda, of course they're known for frickin' people love and still love Oblivion. People love Skyrim. I know some people have come out and said Skyrim is an overrated piece of crap and stuff, and there's some dumbasses comparing it to Elden Ring. Elden Ring's the Skyrim of our time now. But I do think that Skyrim's really good. There are things that Skyrim does really good, and I hate Salt Factory's video on Skyrim because it already feels like he's after Skyrim from the beginning, and he already has like a appetite for wanting to attack it, almost like he's got a vendetta or something, and that whole video is hard to watch just because of that. So yeah, I I can't watch his freaking Skyrim video. I've watched it before. I've even had it play in the background, and just the stuff sounds like he was already prepared to be a dickhead to it, where it doesn't feel like he honestly gave it a blind chance like he did the other games. Even named it differently, more frickin' kind of just, I don't know, it was frickin' pretentious, even. It's dumb. I hate it. This is the video I watched the least of his. I do like his other videos. I actually find Oblivion to be the most, like, I love Oblivion, don't get me wrong, and if you love Oblivion, even finding it as the best Elder Scrolls game, good to you. More to you. More power to you, I guess. But I just found it the most generic of them, ironically, from what frickin', for some reason, Luke Stevens said Skyrim was generic. I don't agree at all. I actually find Skyrim more unique than Oblivion. Oblivion felt like generic English medieval setting. It even felt like when it had Lord of the Rings stuff, it more ripped off Lord of the Rings stuff than even Skyrim, because like Skyrim had legit, like, Whiterun is just Rohan, and Jarl Baldur is just the king of Rohan. But like, it feels like it's still its own thing, still trying to be its own thing because of the personality of the characters and stuff within that city and such, and the stories that can play out there. The problem with Oblivion is I just don't feel that same thing, and I actually feel like, unless it's the Thieves Guild and Dark Brotherhood, the fighters and the Mages Guild get kind of like boring, because like, you're running from one mage guild to another in different cities. You don't get to have staying power with certain characters, so they just don't stay with you. You don't remember them as much, and I even found that the game doesn't really help teach you or even put you in scenarios where you have to use magic, except for one dumbass puzzle that's later, and I hate. A lot of people hate. Even General Sam was like, this is trash. Where I even think Skyrim's Mages Guild, as short-lived as it is, at least teaches you or has more parts where it's like, hey, magic, bitch. Use it. It's at least teaching you more, and I remember the characters involved with the story that they have going there, so it just stands out more to me. Where like in frickin' Oblivion, it's like the elf armor and the armor that the Daedric wear is just Sauron's armor and mace, even, where they at least made the armor look really cool and unique in frickin' Skyrim. And then like even frickin' Oblivion was just Mordor. Frickin' the Imperial City is just White Isengard. It's like it just didn't feel like super unique. I didn't like exploring the world either. It was just kind of boring. I felt like there was cool variety. Like when I went into the Rift region, for example, I love those golden trees where it looks like it's fall. Or if I go into like a snowy region, which Oblivion also kind of has, that's pretty cool, literally. There's like a little swampy area. It's a very short, small area though, and then there's the mountainous areas and stuff, grassy areas or dead areas. It just felt like there was a lot more variety to Skyrim's like locales and stuff, where I didn't feel like that with frickin' Oblivion. A lot of the main cities kind of blended together. It was a lot of the same medieval, English-looking medieval cities, with only the Imperial City really being the one that stood out to me. So, yeah, that's just me personally. Once again, though, man, I'm trashing
doomed
on
to
so
shed
many
our skin and become a lithid, or so the stories go.
So many games
but we
right
haven't
now.
sprouted
I'm
any
sorry for
tentacles.
it.
Not yet,
how I feel.
anyway.
It's just my personal
Could just be good
opinion
luck.
once again.
I'm
like
not
I said
so.
before,
Your minds collide once more. Will chases the fiend ignited with rancor. She is an infernal war devil.
But do you continue
Threat to the
loving
living.
those chicken games? That's just
Evil
what I personally
incarnate.
feel.
Shit.
And maybe I can contribute something
saw
unique,
her.
or maybe you can find something interesting from what I just said.
Advocatus Diaboli.
But whether you agree or you don't agree. I don't know.
Her name is Karlach, an archdevil soldier I swore on my good eye to kill. I tracked her through the hells to the Mind Flayer ship, but the damned Illithids infected me before I could end her. She's out there now, preying on the innocent. I don't kill her, she'll leave behind nothing but a trail of corpses.
Not the intention. It just pisses me off, and when I have a chance to talk about it, or I'm feeling that heated moment, I just talk about it, and can't help that. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed. I will see you next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave your comments below. I will have to see what I can do about the recording situation, just because of how frickin' ridiculous it's been lately. The OBS, I frickin' not a fan of using this. But I will see what I can do. It definitely records better with the other games, though I had that weird audio glitch that happened last time. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you next time. I wonder if it was even, because I'm not seeing the audio right now for the game, but it was working when I had System Shock right now last time. So We'll have to see. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna test that right now. So let's go into the game before I leave the stream. I'm gonna test. Let's watch my own stream. I'm gonna mute myself real quick as well. Okay, it's working fine. I just want to make sure that that's good. Guy won't shut up about swinging in the background there, so I'm gonna shut him up for you. I guess it's not showing the audio when I go to OBS. That's why, right now at least. So yeah, I will see you next time. You have an awesome day. Remember not to take certain things too seriously. If it pisses you off, that is. That is not the point, though. You can tell I'm pissed off, so I guess we would be equal. It would even out. But yeah, if you did enjoy, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments below, and I will see you next time on my next stream. I hope to play some different games that aren't Baldur's Gate 3. Once again, I told you this game, the frick, like, I love the characters and stuff. I love seeing all the different scenarios and such. So yeah, I just been experimenting around with that, and it's freaking awesome. But I hope to do Stalker for you. I want to do that Call of Cthulhu game. There's a bunch of stuff I want to play for you guys, and I hope to do that soon. Bye-bye! And I wish I could record frickin' Shadow the Erd Tree for you, but my friend Dave bought it for me, and he bought it on the Xbox, which I can't record. Unless it's a game that I can do cloud streaming, which I'm not doing that anymore unless I can download it on this PC. Then I can probably play it that way, but otherwise, for some reason, it does not work well. It worked well when I first did it, but now it's just like, ah, frick you, Tam. Also sounds like there's some construction work or something going on and out my window. I forgot to close my window too. But you have an awesome day, and